Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. I'm so glad you're here. This is a place where we come to chat together, to connect, and to create. And I really like the project I have to share with you tonight, so I'm hoping it's one that you will want to try to create as well. So my name is Lillian, and I'm from Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today's date is July 15th, 2024. I just had someone recently ask me for the PDF for something that I had shared a year ago. And if that happens, if you come across an old video of mine in YouTube or somewhere, and you want to find out the measurements or the PDF, feel free to reach out and contact me. I will be glad to help you if I can. And fortunately, I was able to help her. So do that. So thank you so much. And I have a question for you before we go down to my desktop tonight. And that is, do you find yourself crafting in the summertime, or do you kind of taper off? I guess my question is, do you continue to craft during summer weather, or do you tend to taper off and craft other parts of the year? And maybe what holds you back from crafting in the summer weather? So let me know whether you've got some crafting going on, or whether it's kind of on hold right now, or maybe you just need to do a little jump start. So let's go down to my desktop here and see what's going on. We'll get ourselves set up. So make sure you're saying hello in the comments and greeting each other and welcoming each other, and anybody who's new here, that's just great. I love the community that we have here. I was just thinking the other day of all the friends I've made through stamping, and it's really pretty special. Came because of the craft, but stayed, I think, because of the friendships. It's pretty amazing. I'm trying to just make sure that I am streaming. I see some of you saying something, so obviously I'm streaming, but I'm not showing up on my computer. But let's see. Oh, there we are. Good to know. There we go. Yes, the friendships are the best. Just super. And what's really neat to me as well is there's friendships sort of in our local area, but also all around the world. I know that some on here are from other parts of the world, and some watch at another time in their part of the world. So even if you're watching a replay, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, please make sure to say hi. It just is great to have you there. So just a few things to touch base on. Remember, there are new online exclusives. You can find them on my website. You can go here, or you can go right directly to the online exclusives right here. This is just to sort of whet your appetite. There's lots more there, and we saw some of that last week as well. Now, in July, Stampin' Up! Has a special going on. It's called Earn to Redeem. So for every $60, this is in Canada, for every $60 you spend, you receive a $6 coupon that you can use in August. So it's a win-win. You get your product now, but you get some extra money, sort of free stuff in August. So that's a big bonus right there. Now, I sweetened the pot a little bit because I love my customers and I wanted to thank you. And my reward system is in a state of transition right now. So I have this class, Use Your Stash One Sheet Wonder class to go. Now, you can purchase this class, but if you spend $60, you earn this class free. There's no product involved, but you earn the PDF, the video instruction, and everything. So not only if you spend $60 in my online store, will you earn a $6 coupon, and if you spend $120, you get 2 coupons and so on. But in July, you will also get this bonus class, or if you say, well, I have my own demonstrator, Lillian, but I'd love to check out that class, go here and check it out and find out all the information, because you can definitely purchase it as well. There's both options are available. Okay, and I meant to bring one other slip of paper over here. See if I can find it quickly. And that is to remind everybody to join my Facebook group. Over in the Facebook group, it is where I share extra projects. So on the page, anybody can take part on the page, which is where we are right now. But if you go over to the group, it's a private group. You have to click that join button, and it's just a little safer. You people share their projects, and we love to share more things. And that's also where I share more things. So make sure that you pop over there, and that will help you out, I think. All righty. So I received a card in a swap. This card here. It is a fun fold. It is so neat. And when you open it up, it has a place you can write here and a spot for a gift card holder here. Now, this was a swap I received from Robin Fulbrook, and it's called a twisted card. I had to message her and ask her for the name of the card. And although it looks fancy schmancy, it is actually very easy to do. Now, I have a question for you. Do you ever find yourself saying, okay, I like this, but I wonder if... Do you ever have those wonder if moments, and do you ever act on them? I used to never act on them, and I am trying to really hard to say, well, what's stopping me from acting on them? Why don't I give it a try? The worst I can do is it doesn't work out. And so this card that I'm going to make tonight was inspired by Robin's card, but I had what? I wonder if... So before I go to my wonder if, let me just show you how Robin's card worked here. So when you open it up, it's actually half a piece of cardstock. So here's a piece of cardstock. Let's get it in the camera. And here is that. So basically when she started, she cut it in half. And the card looks amazing. Thanks, Fran. It's really a neat fold. So she cut it in half, a full sheet of cardstock in half. Then she scored it diagonally and folded it, and that's how you get the card. But I have to admit, I was feeling a little lazy, and I didn't want to try to figure out the measurements for the insert here. So I thought, well, I wonder if we could create it with designer paper. So I went to and pulled out this designer paper here. So this is the Country Woods designer paper. So you can see I've just got bits and pieces here, but it's all wood grain on one side, and it's just that rustic, almost barnwood look. And then on the other side, we get other wood grain, just a totally different look. And then we've got these stripes, which I just love, and this like that, and this, and then this. So we've got that rustic look. So tonight we are going to use this, so I'm going to keep it out, and then I'm going to show you a bit of my I wonder if journey here. So my thought was, I wonder if designer paper would be sturdy enough to make this card. Then I wouldn't have to try to figure out the measurements. That was my thought. So I created this card here. So this is made with the wood grain designer paper, and I put somewhere to journal here, a gift card. You could put a tea bag in here, a little flat chocolate, a little photograph, whatever. And I find that once everything's there, it is nice and sturdy. So that was one of my wonder ifs. Okay. I had another wonder if. Now, Robin's card, when I went to put it back in the envelope, and I know it arrived at my place in an envelope, I couldn't get it in. And I thought, well, this is silly. I know it came in an envelope. And I found that if I turned it around, I could put it in an envelope like this and just kind of angle it in, and it fits perfectly. So that was with 4 1/4 by 11. But I thought, sometimes people have trouble. They don't, figure that kind of thing out. I wonder if I cut the paper to 4 1/4 by 10 1/2 instead of 11. So we're going to do that wonder if tonight. And with this paper, so 4 1/4, we're going to cut that first. 4 1/4. And then we're going to cut this at 10 1/2 instead of 11. And that will just take a little bit off the end. So you guys are my guinea pigs. All right, now the big decision is, am I going to want the angle to go up this way, or am I going to want the angle to go up this way? So, Ross, thank you so much for sharing. That's perfect. I love it when that happens. Because I made an extra sample for you tonight where this is on the outside, I think we're going to go with this on the outside. So remember with Robin's card here, she cut it, or she scored it, pardon me, diagonally, right? Now I found with the designer paper, if I wanted to score it diagonally, I put the side that I wanted up. Let me just think this through here. Now I'm going to stick with that because I'm going to get mixed up otherwise. So we are going to, so it's going this way, so I want it to go, yeah. So I am going to put the upper right-hand corner in the little groove of my scoring, of my paper trimmer. I don't know if you can see here. I'm putting the other one in the bottom groove. I should put this up a little higher. Let's see here without making you seasick, I hope. There we go. So I've gone diagonally from here to here. All right. The points are in the groove of the trimmer. So let me just make sure that they haven't shifted here. And like that. Now make sure your cutting blade is out of the way and use your scoring blade and go like that. Now some of you were saying, I wish my scoring blade went a little deeper. If that's the case, I'd use my bone folder and put it in the trough and run it down. Now with designer paper, remember you don't want to press too hard. Better to go over it a couple of times than to press too hard because you could tear it. So there we have our diagonal score. So we'll just bring that up and make sure we're coming to a point at each end. Just like that. I'm going to burnish that fold really, really well, like that. Now I'm going to open it. I could just fold it like this, but I like the fewest layers of possible when I'm doing a first fold. So if you open it up and you take that scored corner to this scored corner, this is, don't ask me why it works this way, it just does. So I'm lining up my points and pressing down, and you've got this wonky fold. Burnish that fold. Now open it up. So now we're going to go back and redo this one here, but now we have a fold line here, and that should be exactly in half. And look at that. It is. These all line up. So I'm going to, now that it's folded again, I am going to go like this. And there you've got your basic card shape, and then it's just decorating it. So pretty easy to do. So whether you're using cardstock like Robin did, or you are using designer paper like me, it works. But let's see, can we put this in the envelope this way? We can. So that, just by shortening it 1/2 inch, it works perfectly. All right, let's decorate this. So I brought in the stamp set Let's Wander. I have not seen many samples with this stamp set, and something about this stamp set has attracted me. I don't know why. Maybe because I've got grandchildren who play soccer, but I liked the words too, like wander where the Wi-Fi is weak. You're good for the soul. You can do it. Let's kick it. You know, all that kind of thing. So where do you find that in the catalog? It's in the annual catalog, and it's on page 105. So it's where all they have the sort of standalone stamps. They don't come in a bundle. You can mix and match them. All of these images work so well with a lot of the dies. So it's fun to explore this section, especially if you're on a limited budget. They're a little bit more affordable, and yet they have lots of appeal. So I also, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I will back up. So what I was thinking, I would bring in the dies that I used last week, the what is it? Greetings of the Season dies, all of these labels, and put this here, and I'm going to stamp on this. So let's do that first. I'm going to bring this in too, because I'm going to show you a technique. Some of you know this technique, but if you're kind of new, you might not. So we're going to use the sandal. My husband was so thrilled. He was wearing sandals that weighed a ton, and every time I picked them up, I thought, what in the world? So we found him some really light sandals, and he thinks he's died and gone to heaven, I think. Okay, I'm going to stamp one sandal here. I'm going to ink this up, and on my Post-it notes, I'm going to stamp one sandal here, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then what I would do is I would take a few pages of these and take my paper snips and cut around this image. And usually when we cut around an image, we leave an edge, but we're making a mask this time. So what you're going to do is cut the outer outline out. So we're going to cut like this. And don't worry, you don't have to watch me cut the whole thing. I've got some done. But I wanted to show you how I made it. And then when I'm done, I have 2 or 3 masks, because I'm cut out several at once. So and then I keep my masks in my case. So I've got a couple here. Here's one, and here's another one. And you might be saying, what are we going to do here? So this is what I want to be the focal point, but I want another pair of sandals. Now, I could have cut out a pair of sandals and layered it over top, but remember, it's summer. I wanted to go the easy route. So I'm putting this on top of this sandal here. And the reason I wanted it to be why I cut inside the lines is because I'm going to be stamping over top of this, and I didn't want a ridge. I didn't want a little space. I want it to be to meet right up, as if they're kind of tossed in the corner. You know how kids do that? So now I'm going to stamp it again like that. And it looks like a colossal mess. But when you peel this off, look at that. Isn't that neat? It's like magic. So we'll put the lid on my ink before I ink something else up that I don't want to. And then you're going to start to color. So I chose to use Pool Party for the colored part of the sandals. And people color with their blends in all different ways. And I have to admit, I've changed and gone different directions over the years. But at the moment, I like to do the dark first and then come in with the light. And I like to use the bullet. When I started, I did it reverse. I did the light first. Then I came in with the dark. And I liked to use the brush tip. So it's totally up to you what you like to do, and you can choose your colors. I was tempted to color these in a neon, like a lemon lime twist or something. I do love my lemon lime twist. So I found that in the summer, I quite like coloring. That's something that I enjoy doing. And so but I won't bore you with all of the coloring here, but I will do a little bit and just so you get to see how it's coming together like that. So I used Pool Party, and remember blends come in a package of 2, the light and dark. So I used Pool Party for that. I used Smoky Slate. Where's my Smoky Slate? Smoky Slate for the sole, and then for the metal parts, holding it together. And I used Basic Black for the down here. Let me just bring in the completed one, which, what did I just, oh, there it is. It's on its side. So then I used Basic Black here. And for here, I used one of the, oh, what are they called? They sold them initially as 100s. They're the basics blends, I think. They're all the different colors. Way back when they came out, I made this, but they are all the sort of the different colors, skin tones, and that. So this, I used number 700, which I think now is in the medium range. And I used that for the little accent pieces. I wanted a little bit of color. And then what I did, the color lifter, you can come along and you can just remove just a little bit of color, and it doesn't look like it's doing anything at first, and then it does. So then that's the colored sandals, just like that. Now, I'm going to cover these up one more time. And I'm going to cover both of them, so it's a good thing I cut out 2. And I want it to look a little spattery. So you can use spatter stamps, or you can take your blends. And what I like to do is to use the brush tip, which is a little mangled on mine, and take my bone folder or something sturdy and just spatter some spatters. There's good English for you. Spatter some spatters. And then you've got that little more of a grungy look. So we've got the masking technique. We've got the spattering technique. There we go. Just like that. And, oh, I want to bring this back in and my stamp back in. And I'm going to clean my stamp and use a lighter color, using my Stampin' Scrub here to clean it. I don't know if you noticed, but I used a lighter color here, and then I'm going to stamp words over top, but it's very, very light there. I also stamped the background here. I don't know if you can see the boots there. So we will go with that. So what color shall I bring in? I think I'm going to bring in Pool Party. Just to add a little bit of interest. Move that out of the way, because with the glass mat, it gets a little noisy with the ink pads, but I love that. So I'm going to stamp it off once, twice. Yeah, I'm going to stamp it off twice, and then just have nice soft one in the background. Then when I stamp my words over top, that'll work beautifully. Let's see, on the inside, should I stamp some sandals here? Who says I should stamp some sandals here? What do you think? Should I add sandals to the background here? I'm going to, just because I'm feeling, whoops, I stamped off too much. Karen always laughs at me because I just kind of go for it with random stamping and just flip my paper around, and so be it. There we go. So we've got that, we've got this. We need words on the front, but we'll get to that in a minute. We'll close this up, move this out of the way. Now, when I was designing this card, I was thinking this could go here, and I was playing around with where the words could go. And then I thought, why can't they just go right here? And I'm going to use Early Espresso because I just want a nice dark color. I could go with black as well. And some of you people that are better at design than me, you likely have an opinion on that, but I'm just going to go for it. So I'm making my surface that I'm going to stamp on as flat as possible. And if I muck this up, then I will cover it over with something else, right? So you're good for the sole. There we go. One of the things that's a bit tough with this card is trying to figure out what direction is straight. But there, I think that's good. All right, so now we're going to fasten this on. We could have put things in here, but I'm keeping it really simple tonight. I want to add something here. So we have linen thread. We have the colors from the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. So you know I'm going to ask you, so be thinking. So we've got those, and we also have this. This is a thicker twine. This is the In Colors, and it's quite a mess, I know, because I was dissecting some of them. But I wonder, believe it or not, Wild Wheat is one of the colors in this designer paper. So we could do Wild Wheat. Let me get some of these pieces out of here, or Pebbled Path. Okay, I'm going to take these out of the mix. Here it is. Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, or Linen Thread. Which do you think would look good tied through there? Wild Wheat, Pebbled Path, or Linen Thread? I see Wild Wheat. Okay, let's go for it. And let's get rid of some of the rest of this mess here. Wild Wheat it is. It adds another little pop of color, doesn't it? So I'm going to just bring in my ribbon scissors, cut that off. And what I've done is folded it in half. I'm going to feed it through from the back. I love these dies. The holes are already made for you. It's all ready to go. And we'll go like this. Now we could fray it to give it a little more rugged look, or we could have it just go like that. I think a little fraying might be good. So I'm going to shorten that up. And I like to use my take your pick tool to fray. Sometimes you have to start nearer the end. Maybe it's something I will do once I'm off camera. I'll fray a little bit of the ends and then do the rest later. Even that makes a difference, doesn't it? There we go. So we want it to go on here like that. So I'm going to use dimensionals, but I only want the dimensionals on this part. So let's bring in our dimensionals, and I'm going to put a dimensional behind here and a dimensional behind here. And then I'm going to put 1 or 2 here. Then I know the dimensionals aren't going to glue it closed. Maybe you want them glued closed. That's another option, but I'm choosing not to. And like that. And now all we need to do is add the embellishments and add this on the inside. Let's do that right now. Now, what I'm looking at is this and lining it up with that and making sure my points, which I laid it down too soon, my points aren't hanging over the edge here. You could use a circle for your insert, an oval, whatever shape you want. And then, of course, you can put your gift card in here. And let's bring in some embellishments. So I went a little crazy choosing embellishments here. These are brand new. Let's use them. These are the Pecan Pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots. These are in the online exclusives. So I haven't played with them much. I don't know if you can see, but they've almost got a ribbon design back behind the dot, so it just shows through. Maybe they're a little too shiny. I might have to go and, to me, they're a little too shiny for the project that we've got. These might be better. These are the adhesive backed textured dots. I find I'm using these a lot right now, but then I've been playing with this stamp set a lot, so maybe that's it. But these ones have, I don't know if you can see, they have some texture. Let me put them on here. Maybe you'll be able to see there. Okay. And I'll put one there. So let me hold this up. And I don't know if you can see, but the dots actually have texture on them and they're fairly flat. So they go through the mail really quite easily. So how many of you are liking this fold? So here's this one. Here is this one. So this is, let me just move some of that out of the way. This one's just a smidge smaller, so it fits in the envelope a little bit easier, but it really doesn't matter. It's a personal preference. And then here is this one, like that. I kind of liked the deckled rectangle, so I kind of was stuck on that. And then remember this one we made 2 weeks ago? I still had a lot of these sitting on my desk. So then I used this paper, but folded it the other way. So the blue was on the inside and the brown was on the outside, and did this because to me the brown was sort of like the sand and this was sort of like the ocean. And these actually were left over from that Facebook Live when I was using these as stencils. So there you have it like that. So those are the cards with that. Now, I was also having fun with this stamp set. So I want to show you a few more samples with that stamp set. And these I did get inspired by other people. So this is, and this one I actually did fussy cut the sandal out. And this Verena Shapiro, she inspired me. Hers was slightly different, but quite similar. Hers was the inspiration for that one. And she also inspired me for this one here. Now, some of you, I know you get a little uptight. I don't want to do that much coloring. That's why I showed this one. You don't have to color the shoes. They can be, I was going to make a black and white one, but I didn't get there. And then this is one that I just did myself with the circles and stuff. And I don't know if you noticed, but I was asking about hexagons. I was wanting to make a soccer ball to go with these cleats here, and I couldn't find hexagons small enough. And then I ended up making this, and guess what I used for the hexagons? I need to get better adhesive and stuff. These are dimensional backings. The dimensional backings on one of the stitch circles. I think it's the second smallest one. And now I could have put that on here too. Except they don't, I have to work on the adhesive on them a bit. So those dimensional backings can make a soccer ball. So let's just take another look. These are the Let's Wander ones that are not the fold. And then these are two of the Let's Wander ones, the shoe ones, and two other alternative samples with the fold. So you can tell that although I feel like I'm not crafting as much because I'm outside so much, I actually did find a little crafting time and got a little carried away. So let me know if you like this fold. Give it a try. It really is simple. And I found that using designer paper sort of cut down the work too, because you've got all that interest happening. So let me know what you think of it. And remember, if ever you want to find out more information, if you have questions, or if you don't have a demonstrator and want to order some of these products, just reach out. I'm glad to help you. Take care, everybody, and enjoy tonight. Bye-bye.